Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. Welcome back to Holzer map. I think we may put Provence on hold. I'm really enjoying this map and there is a lot to do. There's a ton to do. So I'm going to do something really different this episode. I don't think I've ever done this before. This is our small field across the highway that we were working on last episode. And I haven't done anything since the last episode, but finished bringing in the oats and bale up the last of the straw. I haven't brought in the bales. I haven't put anything away. I haven't tipped the oats that we harvested. So I'm going to do all the stuff that I normally do, I guess, off camera. This is a good way to say it. So what's first things first? And I guess let's get these oats put away. So, and the other thing I have to do before we do anything else, I don't really want to apologize. That's a little heavy. But I at least, at the very least, I need to acknowledge. I did a truck video yesterday, and somewhere along the line, I lost, or I guess gained is a better way to say it. I gained an entire week. I woke up yesterday morning, Sunday morning, thinking it was Memorial Day weekend. And the first thing I did was look to see when Grand Prix of Monaco was on. And of course, it wasn't. And I thought, oh, well, you know, some years they're the same weekends. Some years I guess they're not. This must be one of those years. So no Grand Prix of Monaco, but surely the Indy 500 is on. It's Memorial Day weekend. It has to be on. And yeah, right about noon, I realized the Indy 500's not on today. And it was raining when I flipped the coverage on. I saw the drivers in their little pajamas. And I thought, oh, okay, well, you know, the race is scheduled today, but it's delayed for rain. And then I realized it was qualifying that was delayed for rain. And then I had one of those weird moments. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. But you have that weird moment where you have like two realities existing at the same time. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I know today is Monday. I just know today is Monday. Today is Monday. And then you realize, like, oh, today's not Monday. And so for just a minute, you have this, you know what I mean? You have this conflict in your brain where it's like, I know it's Monday, but it's not Monday, you know? And it takes you a second to realize, like, which of those two is the more legitter of the two. And so it was this weird moment where it's like, no, this is Memorial Day weekend. This is not Memorial Day weekend. This is not Memorial Day weekend. And it was very strange. So in the video that I posted today, that I recorded yesterday, I'm talking about you're getting ready to watch the Indy 500 and you're thinking, ill will, how could you possibly do that when it wasn't on? Well, I didn't. It wasn't on. I just completely, I don't know. It happens. It happens. Right. So anyway, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, and we're going to get this going. And yeah, I thought I would do some stuff off camera. Now, I did do, in fact, I'll show you. Let me show you something. I did do some things off camera, but they were other things. And what I did was, where is it? It is here. It is here. So we bought these other fields right down here, and we bought these so we could fix, remember we had our solar plazas right in here. We sold them, but this field was all torn up terrain-wise. And to smooth out this road, we had to buy these fields here. And we did. So they are grass, and I brought that grass in, and you can see it's regrowing. And what I did was I harvested it, and I put it in our silage bunker right here at our dairy farm. And the reason I did that is I wanted to see, because there's a cutoff here and here, I wanted to see how quickly I could move that grass up here rather than putting it in our silage bunker over here at our original sheep farm. And the reason I had to do that is this bunker over here still has silage in it. And I didn't have any place to put those other fields if I mowed them, to put that grass. So I figured let's just put it over there, and we'll use it. I did get a self-propelled feed mixer, and it's got the snout on the front, and we can just drive it up to that bunker and move the silage directly into it to mix with our hay. I know I'm doing a long backup here. I could have pulled down and turned around, but I just did it the opposite way. So anyway, that worked out well because we ran out of silage bales at the dairy farm this morning. So it's good that we have that there. And in the meantime, we had, I want to say, 300,000 liters of silage here in this bunker on our right. And I've been just gradually putting that into our biogas plant with the front loader. I keep saying front loader with the wheel loader. I keep moving it in there with the wheel loader as it empties out. But it's a relatively small BGA. It's a 75 kilowatt. I guess that's the number we're using now to measure in FarmSim, which is pretty small, so it does not go through a lot of silage. I think we can get a maximum of about 75,000, maybe 100,000 liters per day through there. So as it empties out, I put silage in it, and that's just what we've been up to. Now our horses have matured. They have maxed out. Oh, these trees, out of my way. I'm trying to back up here. Right, I need to be a little more forward. This is going to be tricky. Hopefully I can do this in one swing. So our horses are 100% ready to sell, and we're going to sell them, and we're going to buy some real estate at the end of this episode. So, yep, I did things off camera, but they are also... they sort of took the place of these things that I would normally do off camera that I'm doing on camera right now. Does that make sense? I think it does. I think it does. Right. Auto load. Yeah, we are. I do. You know, I stack bales manually. I've been stacking wool manually. I don't always want to. I'm not always into it, as they say. So we're going to auto load these, take them down to the dairy farm. We're just about out of straw bales as well. So everything works out. We've got, I think, 2 hay bales. So we'll need to make hay. And we'll either do that next episode or I'll do it off camera. So yeah, that's what's going on. Up there, yeah, you can see our big new solar plaza. And that's making us money. It's not making us... It's weird because all these mods are made by different modders and they all have kind of different ideas, I guess, of what a solar plant should pay. So this big one is giving us about a third of the income that the much smaller one that we had previously was. But that's okay. That's okay. We're still making money. We're going to be fine on money. And we're going to sell those horses today and buy a little bit more property. And the next episode, I mean, our loan is hovering. You saw it when we flipped past the bank panel. Our loan is hovering right about $400,000, but we could pay it off fairly quickly. I mean, we could pay it off today, really, just by... Are these... No way. No way. Oh, FarmSim, I love you. Today I love you. Right. So we could, if we wanted to, we could sell the rest of our silage and pay off, and sell our horses and just pay off our loan and be done with it. But, you know, I don't really want to. I want to keep growing the farm. And I joke sometimes, you know, that it's a farming simulator. It's not a saving money simulator. Let's have some fun. Let's buy some more property. Let's buy a new tractor. You know, let's have some fun. So we will. We will. Now, I wasn't planning, and I didn't really want to buy that land that we bought last episode, or that I bought off camera just before the last episode where we had to do that sculpting. I didn't want to buy that land, but I had to fix that road. And the alternative would be to just leave it kind of ugly back there, and that was, you know, I didn't want to do that. So we had to spend a couple €100,000 to do that, but we're making money. We're getting out of debt. It's these 2 fields right here. You can see them growing, but these are the 2. This is seeing them from the other end. Last episode, we saw them from down yonder by the White House, and now we're seeing them from this end. But there is a cutout, like you can see it on the left right there. These both access this little road right here, this little highway. So we brought our grass out and took it right up the hill here to the dairy farm. And I wanted to do that to see, like I said, what's the timing? Is it going to be quicker to take it here or to take it to the other bunker? And it here was just fine, worked out just fine. So that's actually, that silage is done. You can see it right in there. Actually, we'll take the cover off that, and then we've got our Stroutman self-propelled mixer, and we'll sort that all out, and everything will be Super, super cool. We'll get these dropped off. What else is going on? I've just been taking care of the animals. And yeah, I'm really loving this farm. This is going to be I think I'm going to play this map. I may not play it on camera, but I think I'm going to play this map probably till the end of FS19, till FS21 comes out. And at that point, I don't know, I guess that'll be a decision. Do we want to get FS21 or do we want to stick with FS19? Who knows what's going to happen between now and then? They could switch to a new engine. They could, fix some of their woes. Or they could make Farm Simulator 21 could be just Farm Simulator 13, a reskin on a reskin on a reskin. Just patch after patch. Who knows? Who knows? But we got another year and a half to think about it. No hurry deciding that. Ready? Here we go. And for the most part, they stay in a neat little pile. Close enough. Oh, the frame rate down here. A lot of trees on this map, but I love it, and I'm going to keep playing it because I love it. And what else is going on? Yeah, been doing some multiplayer on Meadow Grove, trying to figure out how to record that, and it's tricky because there's two other people. Well, it's multiplayer, so obviously there's other people, so it's coordinating that, getting all the audio balanced, just bringing a lot of things together simultaneously, and it's not always terribly easy to do it. I mean, it's not like we're digging for coal or anything. It's not that hard, but it's tricky to bring it all together. So I have not been able to really record Meadow Grove, but I would like to. I think that'd be cool. Record some multiplayer, and I've tried some other maps the past couple weeks. I've tried some other maps, and I don't know. I mean, I hear people say 19 is no different than 17, and there are as many modders making as many mods and as many maps. It's exactly the same as 17. And I think, no, it's really not. It feels different. It feels like there's a lot less modding going on for 19 than there was for 17. And if that is the case, as I believe it to be, I don't know what the cause of that is. I don't know if it's harder to make mods for 19. Mods and maps, I don't know if people have lost interest. If they have, I don't know why. I don't know. But it certainly seems that there is a lot less mod content for 19 6 months in than there was for 17 6 months in. So I'm going to continue to believe that something's different. Something's up. Right, so we'll get this parked up. And then we're going to bring our baler in and get that parked. And we're going to hook up to our slurry spreader. I guess we should get our combine harvester put away too so we don't spray poo all over it. But we will get our sprayer hooked up to our Deutz-Fahr Warrior and get a layer of, well, it'll be digestate because we're getting it from our BGA, but it's liquid manure, liquid fert, however you want to describe it. Right. I'm gonna jackknife this right around the corner into our little spot where we keep it here. I guess we could put it inside now. We've got enough room with these two sheds. This is where I'm used to parking it. And so that's where I park it. You know how it is. You get in the habit of doing something and you just keep doing it. So, right, we got to make hay, and I think that's the only thing that's really, pressing is just to get some hay for, now we'll probably split those bales and keep the majority of them down at the dairy for the ladies, and then we'll bring the rest of them down here for the sheep and almost clipped it, for the sheep and the horses. And I was curious about this, too. So on this map, we may just about clip into a barn here. Hang on. Bobette. Yep, I suspected. I was worried. There we go. We're out of it. So some of the barns and some of the farms on this map, the map maker says that there's a capacity, right? Like the dairy that we currently own has a capacity of 50 cows. The dairy that I want to buy, where we're going to have beef cattle, has a capacity of 200, I want to say. So it could be that we're doing that backwards, that we want to have 50 beef cows, right? And 200 dairy cows. That makes sense? Yeah, maybe. You see what I'm getting at. But regardless, the map maker has capacity on this map. I don't know if there's a maximum capacity for horses. Oh, we can fold that up. Is it empty? No, man, I said fold it. What are you doing? There you go. Fold it. I don't know if there's a maximum capacity for horses, but I want to go with no more than 5, and I will tell you why. First reason is I don't want to be like working an exploit. You know what I mean? If we can make that much money from horses, I don't want to put 60 horses in that paddock and just make a bazillion dollars. That's no fun. That's no fair. And the other reason is try to play realistically. And when I look at the size of that paddock, 5, I think, is about the maximum number of horses that I would like morally and ethically feel comfortable putting in there. It's not a veal farm. So, and even 5 is kind of pushing it. If this was a real farm in real life, I think that paddock would be appropriate for maybe 3 or 4 horses. So 5 is going to be our max. So we're going to sell 5 and buy 5. But we're never going to have, you know what I mean, a massive number of horses there. Now, if there is a place to build another paddock, I guess we could do that later days, or not. You know, maybe not. Maybe we'll just leave it the one, because we're already getting to the point where we're making money. We're making plenty of money, and you know, when we're gonna net. No, I can't say net because we did have to buy them. We've got some other investments, but when we're gonna sell our horses for 250 grand today, that's plenty of money. There's no need for us to get greedy. Right, that's step 2. Step 3, let's get our baler put away. Let's get some muck spread on that field. And I suppose, depending on how fast the muck goes, we may hook up to our power harrow and get that fertilizer turned under, even though we don't have to. Technically, our little Lemkin, is it the Sapphire? Yeah, our little Lemkin Sapphire drill, our 3-meter, has a power harrow built into it, so we wouldn't need to take that extra step. But I do anyway. It's something about the look of a new clean field all ready to go, and we can do whatever we want with it. That just appeals to my OCD. And we've got time. And it's just a simulation. It's just a game. Nobody cares. Let's have some fun with it. So we'll do that, and I can put that on a worker, and then we will bounce down to the real estate office and buy that other farm up on top of the hill. I think that's the one we're gonna go with. It's the price is right, and it's well, I'll show you one step at a time. Let's get this baler put away. Let's get our sprayer going, and then we'll talk real estate. We'll talk investment. All right. I do feel like I acknowledge that the equipment is a little too big. A little too big. I get it. You're not wrong. Now, as we get our next farm, let's talk about this while we're getting this put away. One of the things that I'm considering as we're getting our next farm is the proximity. Like where all this equipment has to be to fulfill all these various needs that the farms will have. And we have 4 tractors right now. 2 big and 2, well, they're not really little. 2 big and 2 medium, I guess. Even though technically it's 2 medium, 2 little. Yeah, maybe that's a better way to say it. By definition, by farm sim definition, we have 2 medium tractors and 2 small tractors. The distances are not so great that the 4 tractors we have right now would be unable to take care of any other farm that we buy. So we don't really need to buy another tractor. But I kind of want to. And I've thought about, what if we got a telehandler or a skid steer? You know, and if that took over a lot of the functions that we're using a tractor for, on any given farm, would it free up that tractor to go to another farm, to sort of relocate there permanently and take care of the tasks that that farm has? So I don't know. I mean, you know, I like tractors. It's farm sim. Of course we like tractors. Of course we want to buy tractors. That's half the fun. So we'll think about that. And perhaps we will buy another tractor. Perhaps we will not. If we do, I know the one I'm going to get. And in fact, well, there's your problem. There's two. There's two that I'd like to get, a medium one and a little one. So maybe our plan will be not to buy any new tractors, and then we will immediately buy 2 tractors. Right. I need to do the thing. Make the thing happen. Oh, this. Refill the DEF canister. It's because we have all those DEF canisters stacked up over on the other side, and it just causes no end of trouble. It's not quite bugged out, but it just always wants me to refill a DEF canister. In a tractor, out of a tractor, it's just always there. And if you don't click out of it, if you don't cancel out of it, then you can't refill any other fill types into any other vessel that holds liquid. You know what I'm saying? It's just always trying to put DEF in there. Right. Across the highway. Let's get this going. I don't know if you can hear the landscapers outside. It's Monday morning, and I never time it right, but I've got landscapers and gardeners all over the parking lot downstairs, all over the courtyard, mowing grass and trimming and leaf blowing and everything else. So if you hear that, I do apologize, but what can you do? I don't know, man. I hear some YouTubers, their videos are so professional. I think, God, you got to be in a studio, man. You must be like literally in a studio setting. You have to be. And I don't know. I don't know if they are or not. They certainly seem to be, but they are. Their environment is, almost hit the fence. Absolutely whisper quiet and just so professional. I love it. I aspire to it. That is my goal. Let's see. Can we do this in one swing? Can we? Oh, just barely. Oh, just barely. Oh, we made it. Fantastic. Right. So, put that in gear. Set the brake. Hop out. Do it like so. Back in here. See what our spray rate is. Our spray rate is good. Brake is off. Cruise control is good. 4-wheel drive on. Right. Here we go. And this is our new, remember we had the Shootmaker, that big 2-axle, and we had the pasture injector on it. I got rid of the pasture injector. It was too big and it was snagging on everything. And what I realized after I got rid of it was the Shootmaker itself was too big. So we went down to this smaller. This is based on the Zunhammer, I think, from base game. But somebody's added some features to it and added a bunch of skins. When you buy it in the store, there's just a bunch of different skins you can put on it. So there we go. And we'll get this knocked out right quick. Hopefully this won't take too awful long, and we will we'll park up the sprayer, put the power harrow on here, put it on a worker, and buy that farm, and we'll call it a day. I think. That's the goal anyway. Goals. Good to have them. Never works out the way I plan it to, but it's good to have goals. Right, making our big turn around here. Now there's another field. In fact, I'll show it to you. Right over our shoulder here. Right up there. Sort of the top center of the screen behind us. That field is not very big. It's a grass field, but it's like 400,000 euro. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, if we buy it, we own all the property then in the top right of the map, northeast of the map. We own all the property, and we're good to go there. But 400,000, I don't know. That's a lot for a grass field. But again, at a certain point, I wouldn't say that money will become meaningless to us, but at a certain point, we'll own everything that we want, and we won't have anything to spend money on, and yet we'll continue making money. You know, at that point, you could buy things you don't really need just because you can afford them. Just like real life. All right. Let's make our turn down here, and yeah, we're doing okay. Where are we at? 60%. We may finish this field, filling this thing once. I know initially it seems like, for me anyway, initially it seems like, oh, there's no way we'll ever get this field done. But it's like the beginning, I don't know, starting a field, you just seem to be using so much of whatever it is you're applying. And then almost immediately it's like, oh, shit, it's like it's done. Like, look how much of it is done. We'll be fine. We won't even use the rest of what's in this tank. So that may happen here because we'll make this pass. We got maybe one or two more. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. We'll get this done. And I'm trying to think what else is going on the map. Nothing really. Yeah, just did that grass off camera and a bunch of housekeeping. Taking care of animals, of course. And that's about it. But I'm really enjoying this map. I'm really enjoying the building aspect of it. That's something that I've really not been successful with in FS19 until this map. I've really not had good luck doing anything other than farming. You know, as far as the placeables and the terrain sculpting and some of the other things that were going to be such a big deal in 19, they weren't working for me. And I feel like on this map, for the first time, they are. And that's really kind of changed the way, I don't want to say change the way I feel about 19, but I'm able to play 19. So I guess in that way, yeah, it has changed the way I feel about it, because I can feel anything at all because I can finally play it. But I felt like for the longest time, there was just nothing there, man. It just wasn't even a thing. But I'm digging it. And you know, I joke about like Stockholm syndrome, like Giants has us in a box. You know, if you want to play farm sim, you're going to play ours whether it's broken or not. And maybe that's overstating it, but I do think there's no competition. You know, if you, like I said, of course, the Competizione is coming out next week. If it's a dud, if it's a dog, there's plenty of other race sims to play. But when it comes to farm sim, you know, or American football sim, if Madden releases a stinker, you're playing Madden, because there's really no other NFL simulator or NFL game. You know, that's it. So when you corner the market like that, I feel like you give people, I mean, ideally, I guess you want to give them a good product, but one little spot right there. Got it. Ideally, you want to give them a product, but in the back of your mind, you know, if you don't, so what? You know, what are they going to do? They got no choice. Right, set the brake, hop out here. Get this parked up. Now I've been adding, I don't know what kind of mod you want to describe it as, but like we had courseplay on this map initially, and then I read a couple Reddits that said courseplay can cause problems on some maps, and this is one of them. Courseplay isn't official yet. It's more of a straighten it out. There you go. Courseplay it's not quite beta, but it's more on the GitHub side. It's not quite official yet, and I think it's work in progress. So it can cause problems on some maps, so we're not running courseplay on this map. And things like the real dirt color, same thing. You know, different things in different maps overwrite different mods and get conflicts and various other things. So for the longest time, I was not running the real dirt, and I fired it up, and it's amazing what that mod does. It's such a simple mod, such a small mod, but what it does as far as, you know, if you're working with lime, the tractor gets all white. If you're working with slurry or digestate, the tractor gets all pooey. If you're working with, if you're mowing, the tractor and the mowers get kind of green, you know, as they do when they get grass stuck all over them. So It's another one of those little details that really, for me, just cranks up the immersion and makes this game kind of come alive. And it's a mod, of course. Come on, man. You know I'm never going to pass up an opportunity to throw some shade on Giants. Right. So now we get our power harrow, and we'll just put that on a worker. And I think that's us done. So different video today. Like I said, this is some of the boring nuts and bolts stuff that I do off camera, but you know, it's all farm sim. It's all fake farming. Right. Is that it? Yeah, there's our power harrow right back there. Now I'm curious how Smart Worker is going to handle kind of starting from scratch. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think where do we even want to start when we put this on a worker. Right. I guess the bottom. I mean, we could start it in the middle, and whichever way it turned, then after it was done with that half of the field, we would just bring it back to one end and tell it to start again. I guess we could do that. Yeah, because we've got a pretty straight run. Yeah, you want to do that? What's our compass say? Not really. Okay, well, let's put it on a Smart Worker and see how she goes. So we'll close that. Right back in here. Let's make sure, no. Let's make sure we can even get a Smart Worker. And we can. Okay. So if we start along this relatively straight edge right here, right? Four-wheel drive is on. We do want to make a left turn when we get to the end of this row. Okay. Here we go. All right. Seems to be doing all right. We'll let them work. And I need to actually, because we got a cursor now. We just need to get into a self-propelled vehicle and bring up that worker panel to turn it off to get rid of the cursor. There you go. Okay. I'm curious how far down and around they go. If they go around and curve like to the end of the field. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Well, I'll find out off camera, but I'll keep you posted. Right. And I'm not going to move these horses in the trailer. I just don't feel like it. I really don't. Okay. Oh, a little stutter right there as they make their turn. So, Edgar, Goldfinger, Apache, Excalibur, and Icarus. Confirm. Beautiful. 249,000. You know what? Let's do this while we're right here. Let's buy 5 more. So we're going to say one like that, one like that, and one like that. And confirm. There you go. So what do we have? We have 275,000. So if we go here now, and we want to buy this farm. Let me get on a good, that color. There we go. We want to buy this farm right here. How much is this farm? 262. What do we have? We have 275. Okay, so we can buy this farm. Let's buy it right now. Buy it. Boom. Done. And then that last little field that I was talking about is this one right up here. And, oh, that's interesting. It's 184,000. Why was I thinking it was so much more? Why was I thinking it was so much more? Well, doesn't matter because we're not buying it. Right. Let's go back across the highway and see how our worker's getting on, and we'll call it. Are they getting on? Are they getting on at all? What's going on down here? That seems like a stopped tractor. Yeah. Oh, game. You're so reliable. You work so well. To be fair, it is a mod. Although, I mean, that's hired workers. Hired workers in base game are no gems. Right. I'm doing this off camera. I just want to get it out of the fence. Defense. Right. There you go. Call it right there, folks. Thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is the Holzer map, and we'll see you next time. Take care now.